All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hello, konnichiwa. Welcome to Reviewing Resin with Jeanette and Caitlin. This is a ball joint doll comparison. And the reason we are doing this panel is because we have done intro to ball jointed dolls in the past at other conventions, and we got a lot of feedback of, hey, that was great, I knew all of that. Many of you in here already have your resin friends, even here present, and some of you here are just getting interested. That's great. We had to find a way to bridge these two beautiful worlds of coming into the hobby and already being experienced, and so we thought the best way to do that, for now, on a short schedule, is to do a comparison of some different doll companies. So, this is our trigger warning. I know that many panels do this now, but I feel like I have to put this out here. We do our best to make this age inclusive. I don't see anyone who looks to be of a, an age where this could be uncomfortable, but this is sometimes difficult when we're dealing with ball jointed dolls, and we'll get into some of the details of why. We try to make it age inclusive. There may be some doll nudity. We do our best to not, but things happen. Also, we do have to put in a warning if you have any problems with Uncanny Valley. Some people are really uncomfortable with dolls. They're probably already not in the room. But one of our favorite things, I think, in the doll hobby is all the interesting conversations you find yourself having.
Definitely.
Yeah. What was the last time we were talking about, like, ordering feet off of eBay and dolls just to hack off parts to incorporate in other dolls? So it gets graphic in a cutesy sort of way. So if anything that makes you uncomfortable, those exits are there. We do not judge. So hello, Jeanette.
I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Caitlin. And
this is our
panel. This is our third time doing a panel together.
Yes, it is.
And we are in the Ohio BJD group. I might have slurred those together. Facebook group. We are a relatively active group. I know that I see some of you guys in here. So we have a lot of fun on there. I know they do a lot of meetups that I don't make it to because I'm from Cincinnati. Jeanette here is from Michigan, and you're in a bunch of different groups.
Yes. So I'm in the Michigan BJD group as well as the Ohio group, and I try my best to bridge the gap between both of them.
She does a great job too. She's put together. I mean, you want to tell us about your own
mini-con? So we began doing a tri-state doll meet, which is in June. This year it was on June 8th. It was early June this year, and our next one is going to be on June 21st of 2025. So basically, everybody gets together, we have a big hall, and we bring all our dolls, we have food, we have games, we have everything. So definitely check out, if you're a part of the Facebook group, I definitely post in there all about it.
Yeah, she's posting all the time in those Facebook groups. She's great at bringing people together about this. Like, I think you were the one who kicked me in the butt when I said, maybe we can do X, Y, Z. And she's like, we're doing X, Y, Z.
Yes.
And we're doing it now at this convention, and you're gonna need it. So, Jeanette is about spearheading community, and so definitely, if you've got questions about get-togethers and stuff, she is the person to ask. So, quick, tiny brief history, because we need to get into this panel. I fell in love with BJDs when I was in college, and I had no money, as many people experience, and was not able to really get into the hobby hardcore, so I had to put that on hold. COVID came around, and I had forgotten about my passion for BJDs, stumbled upon a picture, and all the money I had saved up to go and travel other parts of the world could not be used for that because lockdown. So I purchased the doll that you see there in the background. That is a True Love Tina. Her name is Olivia. She was my first doll. She is a Pokemon photographer, for those who are interested in knowing backstory. And that's my gateway.
Well, I started out collecting fashion dolls, Barbies, and Rainbow High, and all of those. So I didn't get really into the hobby as far as with the BJDs until the pandemic, when I had money. I had extra money to spend, so I was like, ooh. And my daughter had bought one, and I saw hers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this. So she kind of spearheaded me into, go ahead and buy it, you have the money. So I went ahead and got one, and then one turned into 20. So mine is the one in the pretty blue dress. She is I don't know how people pronounce it. They say M-U, Mayu, however they pronounce it. She is my first doll. Her name is Janera, and she is the one who has spearheaded me to do so much to get the 20 more dolls I got. And plus my business is also named after her as well because I make doll clothes. Because before I started making doll clothes, my dolls were naked.
Yep.
And everybody would ask me, why are your dolls laying naked on the bed? I was like, oh, because they're doing clothes. So I had to start making doll clothes. I was like, well, since I'm making clothes, y'all need to make me money so I can get more dolls. So that's my backstory.
And for anyone who's just dabbing their toes in this and like, this sounds interesting, one of the wonderful things about BJDs is if you like cosplaying, it's cosplaying and knitting. Woo, so exciting.
And then you get to hold your favorite character.
It's so much fun. All right, so here's what we are covering today, BJD 101. We'll try to get through this relatively quickly. There should be lots of time, hopefully, through this panel, and bear with me, I will keep checking my clock. We're gonna try to get through this quickly, but if you have questions, there should be a lot of time for questions and answers. So that will be crash course. Then we're gonna be reviewing 3 companies. The first will be Resin. The second's gonna be Mew doll. How do we want to pronounce it today?
Mayu,
That's how I do it too. Mayu doll. And the third is Fairyland. Let's see if we can go back. Yes. Third one is Fairyland. Okay? And if I pronounce it like it's a town down in Georgia, that's because I lived in a town down in Georgia called Fairyland, so bear with me. Ball Jointed Dolls 101, a crash course for the casual con goer. Oh, one other disclaimer, neither one of us are PowerPoint people. This is ugly, there's lots of text. My friend here has been critiquing me and trying to help me a lot, but she's like, I love you. But if you saw her JoJo panel, you know that I'm embarrassed right now. Okay, so what is BJD? BJD stands for ball jointed dolls, articulated dolls with rounded ball joints held in place by tension and elastic. Most BJDs, not all, most are made out of resin, polyurethane synthetic resin. That is because that tension on those ball joints puts a lot of strain. If it's a different kind of doll, over time, other materials will eventually warp. And you run into this especially with vinyl dolls, though there are lots of ball jointed vinyl dolls out there, and they're beautiful dolls, don't get me wrong. Resin just tends to hold up a little better. Most are made in Asia, though historically they originated from, it's a really long, cool history that we go over in another panel. But originally they were designed by a German artist, and they made their way over to Japan. Japan kind of spearheaded BJDs. The most these days are from Korea and China. BJDs are articulated. They're anatomically correct. So they're not targeted at children. You can get some that are a little more G-rated, but I don't, if you're purchasing dolls for your kids, just be aware that they are not Barbie. They are not Monster High dolls. We like those dolls, but they're not. They have stuff. Okay, so we like to play a little, we'll be playing a game here in a minute. So just pay attention. We're gonna go over what is a BJD and what is not a BJD. Okay, so this is a Mayu doll, Michelle. She's a BJD. So ball joint dolls offer a lot of flexibility, a lot of flexibility. They're very posable. Whether or not they hold pose is a different question. The elastic is what holds them together. Do you want to grab someone to just kind of show on? Oh, not that.
Oh, sorry, you go straight. Yeah, with the elastic. Yeah, all the joints.
Yeah, and you'll get to see some more joints and things like that if you're new to this. But yeah, so that's the elastic, holds it with tension. So again, resin or other rigid material. There are more and more dolls coming out these days that are not made of resin that are still true ball jointed dolls. They're held together with elastic and everything. But it usually, old school, that's what they mean. So not a BJD. Monster Highs, awesome dolls, not a BJD. They have a pin and joint ball system. There's not elastic running through them. They're not held together with that kind of tension. So hinge joints, pins that click into place. Again, plastic or vinyl. The vinyl thing, the plastic thing, kind of fuzzy these days. I apologize that I'm repeating myself. So, we're gonna play a game. BJD or not, before you yell out your answer. This is my candy fairy. All right, Does anyone recognize these?
It's Utna.
Yes, it is. It's Utna. BJD or not? Your guess.
Not. Yes.
Who said yes?
Yes.
Right there.
Wait, you? I was looking away. There we go.
You also said yes. I know. I guess over here.
Oh, was it?
It was,
I'm not paying attention.
no, you're good, you're good.
Have them raise their hand so she can see.
Yes.
who it is.
No, you're right. Please do raise your hands. We like audience participation for these. Ball jointed or not?
Not.
Good job. Not over here.
Keep your hands up if you say
Yeah, if you say not, you gotta keep your head up. All right, ball jointed or not? BJD or not?
Yes.
Well, we got two
Yes.
yeses.
All right. I ordered these.
So does anyone know what these are?
They're from
Well, Keep Your Goods carries them. Yeah.
High campus?
Yes, that one is the junior high campus. Yes.
You're welcome.
There are a plethora of these on the market. They even had some in the dealer's room. They went real fast because some of you guys found them. And they honestly, just a quick drop. I think this is an excellent way to dip your toes in BJDs because they are a low price point. They're highly collectible. If you go on AliExpress, you can buy the ones you want. Depending on the ones you get, you can actually get interchangeable hair, you can get interchangeable eyes, things like that. So they are customizable. All right, last but not least, BJD or not?
Yeah, not.
Who said not? There you go.
Oh.
These are not BJDs. They are smart dolls.
They
And-
play with BJDs, but they're not BJDs.
Yes. BJD collectors love them. They're beautiful. They have the best fashion. Those in black, best fashion. Okay, they're not BJDs. Do you want to speak on smart doll real quick?
No. So no, but no, smart dolls, they're really nice and they're nice, but they're not BJDs. They have the skeleton inside and they do all the jointy things, kind of like the dolphin. Kind of like the dolphins, they're similar to those. So, and they're really awesome. And like I said, they play together. When we have meets, they can all play together. We do not discriminate against dolls.
A doll is a doll. If you have someone at home you love, you're not a ball jointed doll, please bring them in.
Yes.
All right, so really quick, we're gonna touch on dealers. Okay, so these are just a couple of dealers. We're talking about them because they specifically will sell the dolls that we're displaying today. We're talking about first is Denver Doll Emporium. They are a really, really reputable company. I have ordered with them. Sorry? Snap!
Years and years ago, but yeah.
Ah.
It's not, they don't have anything out anymore though. I went there just a few months ago.
But my sibling got one of their first dolls because they were like, that doll, he's staring at me.
I love, he speaks to my soul. That's what they do, right? Yeah. Have you ordered through Denver Doll?
That's where I get most of my new dolls.
There you go. There you go. They're very reputable. They're very reasonable, I feel like, for their shipping. They go to bat. The other great thing is they have in-stock dolls for those of us who are not patient to wait 3 to 2 years to get a doll. And I say that because my first doll was one of those 2-year ones. So yeah, highly recommend Denver Doll. They have layaway. Actually, I think all of these dealers might offer
Yes.
layaway.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I love Alice's collections as well, mostly because I like their selection. I have not ordered through them, but I am planning on ordering through them probably the next time I do. My personal favorite to order through, they're closing down the number of companies they work with
Oh.
in Clover Seating. So, but one of the great things about Alice's collections, shipping. Shipping on BJDs, if you don't know, gets crazy expensive real fast. And they offer worldwide free shipping for most dolls. That will save you like 30 to 40 bucks. Plus, they run promotions, which I don't know that I've ever seen Denver Doll run a promotion.
No, I've not seen them run a promotion, but they do run promotions and they're good with communication because I've already gone through them.
Mhm.
They're good with communication. They, of course, also offer a layaway. I say that because dolls can get expensive and layaway makes it so much simpler. And they're pretty good with their shipping. They'll ship it, and once they get the doll in stock, you'll get it within a week of them getting it. So they're pretty good about it.
That's awesome. They also do gifts.
Yes.
So right now they got a special going. If you order this many of whatever, you can pick out like a wig for $1 and some things like that. So if you want to spend some money, you know, they're worth checking out right now. The last one's gonna be doll, and I have not ordered through doll. I have heard good things in the community. They've been around for a really long time. They also offer layaway, and they have a large selection of in-stock items as well. They offer a lot of really good quality companies and have, again, a good reputation. Don't they have their own doll line?
I thought they did.
I think they do. They have their own doll line, if I'm not mistaken. I won't lie. So many companies out there, after a while, they start to overlap. They also have a point system. So if you purchase them, they're like, you spent $200, you get 200 points. Accumulate so many points, turn them in for accessories and stuff like that. They do shipping based on location. So it's a little more expensive on the shipping side, but again, they have a good reputation. Okay.
So now we're gonna talk about how to get them secondhand. And I don't consider secondhand, I call pre-loved, because they come from a loving home and they're coming to a loving home with us as well.
I like that.
So.
I like that a lot.
So, places you can try to buy them at, Den of Angels. I've personally not bought a doll from there, but I hear a lot of good things about them purchasing dolls from there. It's a safe way to do it because they make sure that they stress that the dolls need to be authentic. And then most of the time, if they have a COA, it's gonna come with the COA. And plus, they kind of vet you before you get the sale. You have to be on there. What is it, 60 days?
You have to have an account to access Marketplace, either to buy or sell. You have to have 60 days on there, and then you have to have 40+ posts. That is steep.
That is
It
very steep.
is very steep, I feel like. Sometimes you're just making up stuff to talk about in the forums to get to the Marketplace.
Because that's why I haven't been on their Marketplace, because I've been on there for a couple of years. I've been on there for years, but I don't talk like that.
Yeah. I don't either. It was literally years before I got in, mostly because I was off the community for a while and then came back in. But and they also do have like a limited number of things you can purchase from them, because they really, really are strict about what they consider a ball jointed doll.
Oh, yes.
Real hardcore. We won't get into the drama. But I will say, if you want to get a doll and you want to get a good price and you know what you want, and it might be a little more rare, and it is a safe place to purchase. A safe place to purchase.
Okay, so I'm gonna lump these last few together because
Yeah.
it's basically saying the same thing about them. eBay, Mercari, Yahoo Japan, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, they're all beautiful places to get secondhand dolls. But you have to be really careful in getting those secondhand dolls, because not everybody, look, I trust most people, but not everybody is honest. So you have to make sure that you're getting legit dolls, because there have been instances where there have been people selling dolls that are not legit, but saying they are legit.
And there are Facebook groups that target that.
Yes.
And we're not here for that particular conversation, but we will be open to that at question time if you have thoughts. But yeah, legit dolls. The other thing is scam. Like, even if they're selling a legit doll, it looks legit, whatnot, you go and they never ship it, but you've already sent your money, things like that. That happens.
The rule of thumb with buying from any of the marketplaces, you want to kind of stick with PayPal, because PayPal offers the protection. Because there have been people, because they're quick to say, oh, can you send it via Cash App? Can you do Zelle? Well, if you send it that way, you have no protection. So they could take your money and like months, like, where's my doll at? And then they'll go. So you have to be really careful when buying in places. But not to say you can't find dolls there and you can't find good sellers there, but of course, where there's the good, there's the bad.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful about it. But other than that, Jay, you can find some awesome deals on dolls that you really want, but you don't want to spend as much money for them for new. You can get them pre-loved and save some money.
Other perk about buying secondhand, it's like if you buy an in-stock doll, right? It gets to your door way faster than waiting for them to make you a new one. Here are some quick tips. And by the way, if anyone needs this info, there's a QR code at the end. So we got that in there for you guys. There are links all through this presentation. Just click on a link, it'll take you where you need to go. So always, when you're buying secondhand, you wanna make sure you got a COA.
Yes.
Okay?
Now, there are some dolls, depending on how old they are, there was a point in time when they didn't do COAs, because they didn't have to do COAs. There weren't so many people trying to take other people's works.
Yeah.
But most of the dolls that are made nowadays, they come with a COA. So you wanna make sure you get one of those.
Yes. Next, try to get, if you're gonna buy actual photos of the doll, not stock images. If they've got a stock image, that's fine, but they better follow up like 5 other pictures of what you're actually getting.
Right, and so we spoke on the method of payment, always do, I know PayPal has their guarantee, and I know Venmo is trying to be, because PayPal owns them, they're trying to do the guarantee as well, but you wanna do it as goods and services and not friends and family, because friends and family, again, gives you no protection.
Yep, yep. Seller credibility. A lot of places, especially if you buy on Instagram, they will actually say like, hey, here's my Den of Angel track record. You can go look at my sales and purchases. Here's my, Etsy. I've seen people, I use an Etsy credibility. And there's different ways for people to actually get credibility. So if they have that, look through that, see if they've got reviews already on them. If you're really unsure, you can sometimes ask in the Facebook groups, like, hey, don't mean to sound sketchy, put someone on the spotlight, but I'm trying to purchase this doll from this person. Anyone have experiences?
So yeah, because if someone's had a bad experience, they'll be very welcome to tell you about it.
Very noble.
And with the shipping method, you want to make, okay, this is a pet peeve of mine when it comes to secondhand dolls, shipping. Because some people, you want to watch how much they're charging you for shipping. Because of course, depending on where it's coming from, it could be a lot, but I'm sorry if you live a half an hour away from me, my shipping should not be as much as me being able to drive to your house and pick it up and come back. So sometimes people will try to recoup extra money through that. So you want to be aware, somewhat cognizant of how much shipping should be for a doll.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you're buying a 72-inch or 72 centimeter uncle doll, it's going to be a little more than if you're buying a little one, but still. Country of origin is a funny one. Keep an eye on it. Most sellers are out of China, like legit dolls come out of China. Beautiful dolls, many of which we're going over. So it is hard to do that whole it came from China, it might be a fraud. Hard fact is though still, look and see if what you're getting is a legit doll or not, and if it's coming from China, you do have to take a second look sometimes. Also, that helps you determine how much is your shipping gonna be.
Yep.
Placed together. Tracking numbers, if you can get a tracking number, you want that tracking number.
There should be no reason why someone cannot give you a tracking number these days, because even when you ship ground, which is the cheapest you can do with USPS, it comes with a tracking number.
Yeah. And the other side of that is not just, I wanna watch my box get to me, because there's that anticipation, right? We all like to do that. But also, if you can avoid having your $500 resin doll not sit out in the sun on your porch, that's a good thing, whether or not you trust your neighbors.
But it's not even about that. I've had my pretty dolls sitting on my neighbor's porch because I don't understand why they couldn't read that that's not their address. So you definitely want to know where keep up with where your doll is going.
Yeah. Some independent sellers offer layaway. Some people are cool with that. So that's a good thing. Also see what extras your doll is coming with. Did you order a doll that came with the full set? Got all your pieces? Make sure all the pieces are there before it ships.
Make sure that the pieces are there before it ships. Make sure when you get it that you look at it right away to make sure everything is there, because the more time you let it go by, they're gonna be like, nah, you should have told me that when you first got it.
Yep, exactly. So, real quick, today's makers. Resin Soul. Who here has a Resin Soul at home? Oh, you've got some. She's beautiful. All right, so Resin Soul is a very reputable company. It's a great entryway doll. They are a Chinese company. They are a little lower on the price point. Their dolls tend to range 14 centimeters up to 72. By the way, keep facts in mind if you can. We have another game coming up later. Next is My New Doll. They're one of my personal favorite brands. They are also a Chinese company. They're kind of medium range.
Yes.
And they offer dolls about 17 to 60 or 62 centimeters. And then finally is Fairyland. I feel like everybody has seen a Fairyland at some point. They are a Korean company. They're on the higher end of cost points. And their dolls are a little more limited in size, but about 21 to 65 centimeters. All right, so these are some standard things that come with all your dolls if you're ordering from any of these three companies. They'll come with a COA. They will come with a random set of eyes, which sounds small, but it's really handy if you get a doll and you've got nothing else for them except they've got some eyeballs, it's good. And then they come pre-strung. I don't think any of them sell disassembled dolls. And I do say that because some companies will offer you the option to buy like a garage kit or an unstrung doll. It cuts down on the cost and the shipping time. I've done that before, but you know, that's an option for other companies, not these three. So let's start off with Resin Soul. They are based in China. They're the daughter company of which that is primarily a casting company. So it's really cool. A lot of other companies, especially independent artists, will send their original to Resin Soul and Boboy, and they will, I'm going to mispronounce this the whole time, they'll cast it for them. And so they're just really well known across the whole community. They have a reputation for high quality dolls at a really affordable price for ball jointed dolls. For those who are new, who's new here? Who's like, this sounded interesting? Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. By the way, let me just put this out here real quick. Ball jointed dolls typically start around the $120 range and go up. There are lots of exceptions. That's part of the reason earlier when I was putting out the little dolls, those dolls are about $25 a piece. They're like action figures in some respects that way. So that's a great way to start. But if you're like, I saw resin and I want real resin, like I want a big one, this is a great place to start because they are going to have less expensive dolls. So, yes.
She's a small doll. When I bought her, she's a, oh my gosh, 1/6. 1/6. I'm holding her head because she ain't got no wig or her hair.
She's missing the rest of her skull.
When I bought her, she was in stock. She was in stock for $88.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
through Denver Doll.
Through Denver Doll, yeah. And Denver Doll carries them in stock frequently. Okay, so that's the size range that they offer. Again, I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. So if you want to go through in depth, please grab the QR code at the end, or you can just mosey on this on your own time. Okay. Some great perks. They offer inexpensive face-ups. So if you say, hey, I love this doll, I want to order this doll, but I don't know how to paint a face or I don't have the equipment for it, theirs are really affordable. And they're pretty nice face-ups as well. Another thing is, all these companies kind of have like a different vibe, right? Resin Soul definitely leans hard into fantasy-type dolls and bodies.
They also do insane, wild customs. If you ask them to do something, they will more than likely do it.
Do you want to
Go ahead.
Oh, please, we're talking about it.
Jack, she is my original character. I got them to put an extra set of arms on her in a very specific placement. And they
That
did
is
it.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is so cool. So if you want something 100% unique and yours, they're a great way to go. They're also known for doing things like this. They have so many different body options and things like that.
And they will do custom colors like as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
They even added a little like, tooth on this mold for me too.
that's amazing. That's so cool.
I love her so much. She's my pride and joy.
She's beautiful. She really is.
Thank you.
If you want extra parts for like a project or you're trying to do like segmented parts, sometimes they'll just sell you extra body parts.
Yes. They have a lot of options for different body parts and things like that. They're one of the few companies that like, oh, I need a pair of wings for my doll. They'll actually like have it in stock. You can just order. And they're great too because you emailed them and said I need X, Y, Z, and from what I understand, they respond really well.
Yes.
I don't have a Resin Soul, but I've only ever heard great things from them. You can get them directly from their own website, or you can get them at Denver Doll. There are other places, but I think those are the two
those are the
primary.
main projects.
Maybe obvious question, but so they communicate primarily in English?
Yes.
Yes.
Via email, yeah. So this is where so body types, they have alternative body types for their 1/3 dolls. So, and when I'm talking about alternative body types, I'm typically talking about human types. And I have to say that because they make all sorts of centaur dolls and like dragon dolls and things like that. So many different hybrids. If you want a hybrid doll, they're a great place to go. But specifically if you want like a chunky type versus a skinny type or a muscle type versus a soft type, they don't offer quite as much variation in that way, but they do have some for their 1/3 size dolls. Obviously, a lot of fantasy type bodies. They are also the place to go for resin colors.
Yes.
And this could be because they do casting, but they have 12 standard colors, and I think you both said they do custom colors
Yes, they
as
do.
well. So if you say, I kind of need like a light blue, but not that shade that you've got on stock, they're the place to go. They definitely have the most colors ready for people to order with. As far as add-ons go, they've got a really cool one in particular that I like. They have jointed hands.
Gosh, yes.
And again, because their resin colors are used in so many other ball jointed doll companies, because they do the casting for them, you can get their jointed hands and they will match other dolls that may not be resin sold dolls.
Do any of y'all have jointed hand dolls?
I do not, I just think they're cool.
At
She
the
has
end-
too many for me.
At the end, if y'all wanna see what jointed hands look like, I have some on the dog, so y'all can come to me.
It's
And
awesome.
she is not a resin soul. This is my, don't look at her head, cause this is not the head to go with this doll. Her head is getting faced up. So, but she is a people, a fairyland people, and they fit her hand. I was able to put her on the jointed hands. So those jointed hands will fit any other type of doll.
That's awesome. And we will get to Fairyland because they're on our list. So they also, if you go to their site and you need things like eyes, wigs, clothes, they have some of that. I wouldn't say it's the best selection, but they have those as options. Okay, so we're gonna do a resin soul posability demonstration for you, ladies and gentlemen.
And we'll let you bring yours up here too, that she can have some
I will
arms.
warn you, she's a bit picky. I haven't had any time to like.
But that's exactly what we're here to talk about.
Oh,
We're gonna talk a little bit about doll comes fresh out of the box, this is what you get. Now,
Yeah.
yeah, so this is our friend Ashley as well, and she has brought her resin souls. I don't have any, I have the other dolls, so I have to rely on somebody's here.
So this was my first doll, wrong. I've had her over 10 years. I don't know how her yellowing is holding up. I think it's okay, but she's pretty dirty. I don't know. But she's doing good. I've restrung her once, and she's doing all right. These pegs actually help with it, but she doesn't have it's considered a double joint. I don't know if that's the right term anymore, but
I think it is.
yeah. So when you, I don't know if you all can see it, but when you bend her knee, a double joint will be a long piece here. So you can't true sit her, the kneeling knee. But anyway, she does pretty good as far as standing-ish, but
She is in heels, let's give her some grace. I
Yeah.
don't understand in heels.
but
And the moment you ask a doll to do anything in front of an audience.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So can we get a hand to face to see if she can do that mobility test?
Yeah.
I know it's pretty standard.
But it doesn't.
It's not gonna stay?
Yeah.
Okay. And he can also do a hand to face, but not stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then can we get sitting positions?
Yeah, totally.
Like how much can we
Girl,
sit?
you can hold me.
So this gentleman, and who's this gentleman by the way?
He's Apollo.
Apollo.
He's a 1/3.
He's a 1/3, he's beautiful. He sits nicely. Oh, look at him go. Look at him, he sits up nicely. And I point this out because we'll get to some dolls that it's finagling to get them to sit up.
So she's got 2 joints in her torso. She doesn't have any underwear on, so I'm not gonna pull it up, but she's got a joint here and then a joint here, so you can really kind of get her to slouch and move around a little bit. But I don't know if I strung her too tight, but she just snaps right back. But
And I'm assuming this guy has his original
Yes.
stringing? Okay. Awesome. Anyone have any particular mobility thing they'd like to see?
Right, bring hers
Yes,
up
bring
here.
her.
'Cause we
She's
want-
got extra joints, so this will be fun, maybe, I guess. Yeah,
Look at them all.
she's a little heavy.
She has on her
Yeah.
joints. Look at this.
It's awesome.
She can do hand to face pretty decently. She can do it with several hands.
Oh, multi-face palm.
She's flashing at her
Oh,
right now.
don't do that,
Let's
girl.
reset.
But she has the joint she was just speaking about. the
Yeah,
double
she has
joints.
double joints.
She has double joints.
All right, I am gonna keep us
Yeah,
moving.
go ahead. You can hold her.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can mess with her.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I do have to keep us moving because I just checked the time. I was like, oh goodness, I probably got long-winded. All right, so that's Resin Soul. Again, at the end of this, if anyone wants to come up, ask questions, look at dolls, please do, please do. So now we're going to touch really quick on Mayu Doll. They launched in 2015, Chinese company. They have offered over 77 different sculpts. I was trying to figure out who offered the most sculpts over the years, and I could not figure out who offered the most, but I thought 77 was pretty impressive. I personally really like Mayu Doll. They are very cost effective. I think what they really shine with is their full sets. So for those who don't know, when you order a doll, okay, this is a Mayu doll. This is how my Mayu doll came mostly. I faced up her, but I wanted to put her in a box so you guys could kind of see. And yes, the box did come damaged. Keep an eye on that. But it comes in a large box like this. Okay? And then in here, in here we have her COA. Okay, so her COA is actually this little card, but they also have some extra pamphlets and stuff talking about Mayu Doll. Actually, one of these goes to this other one I'm going to show you guys in a second. And then it comes wrapped in bubble wrap. And then I love that all of their dolls come with some sort of case. When we get to my Mayu Gina, I like the case better, but it's still nice to have this soft case for my Mayu Doll. This is a Lingwei. When a doll comes to you, typically, and you just buy it as is, they come like this. Mayu Doll does give you underwear. Most companies
Yes,
do
they do.
not. So they come no clothes. They come with eyes. If you order a face up, they come up with a face up. You can order clothes for them most of the time. Mayu Doll offers full sets. Resin Soul does not offer full sets. Okay? You can buy a doll, but you're going to have to go pick out their clothes. With Mayu Doll, you can choose. I want the full set. I will pay the extra $100 for the wig and the clothes and the shoes and the special eyes and all that jazz, and they send it to you. For this doll, this is my Marinette, and she does. I did not order the full set because I didn't need it. Turns out I don't even actually use this body for her anymore. She has a Doll Family H new 1/4 body, which I love. It's got a little chunk to it.
Which one is that one?
This one is the 1/3. So,
The one. No, I was looking at these. I was looking
oh
at
yes, I should leave her out. We're going to be talking about the Mayu dolls here in a second. You can get them from Alice's Collection, Denver Doll Emporium, and Doll, all of the above. The other great thing is so many people carry Mayu Doll. They're very, very common, and I think that they're really accessible, both price-wise as well. And so they offer a couple of different body types, specifically for the 1/3 and 1/4.
Mhm.
So this is their two-part torso, so two-part torso, right? She can move here, and she can move at the waist as well. And this is their type 2 or type 3. I don't remember which one. Type 3. And then this one is,
She's a type 3 as well.
okay. So they offer, the cool thing that I think, and we'll look at her in a second, they offer a mature option for 1/6 dolls. Most of the time when you hear 1/6, they're called YOSDs. They look like little baby kiddos. They're really cute. But if you're interested in doing fashion dolls instead of kid dolls, they're a good option for that. They're also Barbie sized.
Yeah.
So they can wear Barbie
So
clothes
just imagine this doll. She's going to show you as a Barbie size.
as a Barbie sized doll. They also offer large and small chest sizes
Yeah.
for people who are interested in that.
Because hers is a large chest. I'm not going to whip
And
them out for you.
hers is a small chest, yes. So the large chest does allow you to do more of a mature style if that's what you like. I like small chests only because they fit more clothes. Just my personal preference. They offer 6 types of resin in standard colors. And what I like that they offer a coffee resin, which is not common. A lot of places will offer a tan, which is good, but just to have another skin tone variation is really nice. And then for add-ons, they have high-heeled feet add-on options. They have additional hand options if you need some cute gestures. And they allow you to purchase heads separately. So if you just want a head instead of a whole doll body because you're doing a hybrid, they're excellent dolls for hybrids. And so real quick, posability. I'm sorry I'm flying through this. The lady just poked her head in and I was like, oh, I know we're over. So, and she's got her.
This is her baby 1/6 one.
Yes, this is Marmalade.
Thank you.
Yep, she's a little tiny 1/6. She's wearing a vintage Barbie dress. So they do Barbie really well.
They do Barbie real well.
And honestly, such a great option to be able to get a doll and then find clothes anywhere you want. For those of you who have bigger dolls, you know what a hassle it is to find shoes. Well, shoes are still a hassle for her, but to find things. So she does not do the face-to-hand test super well, but it's there. She does have double joints, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, she's got the double joints. You have to cock her a little bit to get her to sit up well. As you can see, she's a little bit more difficult to pose in the resin soles. It's another reason people like resin soles. They're just really quality dolls for the price point. Yeah, there we go. She's sitting. So, anything you guys wanted to see on my doll before we keep moving? I apologize for rushing this a little bit more than we planned, but again, we had to start late because we had to set up. No? Good? Awesome, awesome. All right, we are going to delve into Fairyland. Who has a Fairyland sitting at home or in the audience? Yes? Who do you have?
I can't remember the name of that.
Okay. Is it a mini fee? Is it a feeple?
It's a people.
Nice. Very cool.
It was one of the revamps of the old model.
Oh, nice. So relatively new one then, right?
Yeah.
Cool, because I think they just did that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did the look backs.
Nice, that's awesome. So Fairyland is probably, I feel like, one of the most well-known BJD companies, wouldn't you say? Yeah. If you go and you Google ball-jointed doll, usually it's one of their dolls that pop up. They are also the most recast company on the list.
So if you go on AliExpress,
Mhm.
you are not getting an original Fairyland.
Yeah.
Don't let them try to sell it to you as one. It is not.
I would say if you're shopping on AliExpress or, I don't think Temu really has doll stuff.
No, they don't.
But if you go to AliExpress and you're searching for doll stuff, do not buy your doll on AliExpress.
Clothes,
Buy your
toys.
accessories. Accessories, wigs, shoes, whatever. That's great. I would say avoid buying your doll from them. That's a whole other panel on its own, really. So they have a small selection of sizes, but they do offer some things that are pretty unique. They offer full sets. However, the trick with their full sets is their full sets are limited edition, which means if you're like, I want this beautiful doll, you had to buy her within the first month she was out. Otherwise, you're not going to get her full set. You'll just get the doll herself. That means she will not come with the clothes. She will not come with the wig. She will not come with the accessories. So just bear that in mind when you're getting a Fairyland. So they offer, again, costs and everything are up here. I'm not going to go over them just because of time crunch. But what they do offer is a really unique joint system. And this joint system is becoming a little more common in other dolls, I think.
Yes.
But they are known for really pioneering the magnet body types. And we'll show you that in a second. They offer two standard body types for, like human body types, for their feeple sizes and for their mini fee sizes. So the mini fee is going to be your 1/4, the feeple is going to be your 1/3. And they're both called like the active line versus the mow line. So a mow line is a little more of a soft kind of look, while your active line, which is what I have, is a more athletic kind of built look. They also have a really cool thing called their Fairyline line. And these are dolls that can be interchanged between special fairy fantasy parts and regular parts. So you buy a Fairyline doll, they're a little more expensive, but really reasonable for what you're getting, and you can switch that body type out for a centaur real easy. Or you can switch it out for regular legs, whatever you want. So it's really cool because it's like a hook system. I don't have a demonstration of it here, but it is definitely worth looking up. Their resin colors are very limited. They offer 3. But it is nice resin.
Yes, it is.
It's very nice resin. And then for add-ons, they have tons of hands options. They have feet options. One of the things I love about them is they do offer sleeping heads. So if you want to buy a doll, say I'll show you my claws here in a second, my mini feet claws. I got the option to order a sleeping head as well. And I have found I just love sleeping heads. It's a weird thing to be into, but I just love the elegant nature of them. And this is actually the head I usually have on my claws, and her name is Sky. So let's go ahead. Again, I apologize for running through this so fast. So when you order a Fairyland, you get one of these absolutely gorgeous hunking boxes. They're very, very pretty. They look nice on a shelf. I don't display mine, but they do. You will also get your COA, which looks like this, and you will get an instruction book, which is great because they show you, there might be some doll nudity here, I apologize, all the different ways your doll is going to be able to pose and move around and such. Very, very helpful for getting introduced. They also have nice foam boxes, but they don't come with cases. So when she comes like this, except that she doesn't come with underwear. I tried to make this G-rated again. So she comes with this, eyes and putty. I ordered the high heel feet, that's an add-on you can get. And I ordered an extra set of hands because I wanted some options for holding things and expressions. So this is a Minifee Claws head, which is originally a male vampire, but I had it put on a active live female body. And then the cool thing about this is, if you saw us pull joints right on those other ones, so I'm gonna pull her hand right off because there's a magnet system in there. This is brilliant. It's brilliant for changing clothes. These dolls are a higher price point, but for a reason. They're highly,
Come off too.
the feet come off. The head is also very different. So do you wanna pull out that little Mayu doll and who has the skull?
Oh.
Her scalp, and show the back. So you see there's a, if you can see it, tiny little hook in there. That's what's keeping her head in place. So what I'm going to show you is hers has a zipper system. And you just twist this little, and it pops right off. For dolls, that's excellent for dressing. They are so easy to dress. It's a breeze. It's just wonderful. Again, they are higher cost point. They're more difficult to customize because of these special joints. So what you get is what you get. But if you like their stuff, they're definitely worth the cost. You can also get lots of them secondhand. They tend to retain their value. That's another thing to talk about just real quick. Certain ball joint dolls retain their value even if they age in yellow to some extent. So as they yellow, they will go down in price, but Fairyland are always sought after. Mayu dolls, kind of medium. You'll probably recoup maybe what, 2/3 of your cost. Resin Soul, I would say, is probably similar, maybe a little less. Do you want to show us your people?
Okay, so again, don't look at her head because this is a Lutz doll head. I just didn't want to have her, y'all looking at her with no head. So, but the beautiful thing is they not only, they have that system in there, but if you want to put another doll head on there, you can take the system out and just put it in with the regular hook. So you can definitely customize. She is secondhand. She has been my project for the past 6 months. When I received this people, she's a people 60. The person, the girl who sold it to me, she was like, well, I have a project doll for you. And I was like, she's red. I was like, red? And then she sent me a picture, and she was almost as red as your cake.
Wow, that was a lot.
So I've been working on her for quite a while. And the resin is awesome on these because when I had, it took a lot for me to get enough redness out of this doll to make it something other than a bright red. So yeah, their resin quality is awesome, for good or for bad. So awesome. So, and again, with their hands, you can interchange, they have the magnet hands, but you can also interchange them for regular hands as well. So, the same as the feet. So you can stick with the system, or if you see it like a pair of feet that you love on another doll, you can definitely interchange them as well.
I know that they're trying to move us out, and I recognize also that we had to start late because other people had gone, had to move things around. He's giving me the nod. I guess that we'll just have to.
Let them see the barcode.
See the barcode, yeah. Let me get you guys to the barcode. Questions, comments?
There you go.
Here's the link. So if you guys have anything you want to look up, please do. There are also links in here if you're interested in joining the Facebook groups that we have. We are a very inclusive community. I think that anybody in our groups would say that. if you've got questions about BJDs in general, please feel free to ask us. It will take us a hot second here to get all packed up, and we will happily answer questions as we're doing that. Speaking of which, does anyone have anything they want to ask right now? Yes.
So with the Fairyland, it's a jointed system except for the feet, hands, and head.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
Well, even the feet and the hands are jointed.
Yep.
So if you look here, if I pull on the ankle, she's really tightly strung.
So just below the ankle.
It's
Just
okay.
below that. That's why you can interchangeable if you find another pair of feet.
That's cool.
And that's also why they're still considered a ball jointed doll, because the joints themselves are balls.